Hey Grande Alive, this is your weekly Newsish Roundup, brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Grande Hospital, and Direct Music Source. Handel's Messiah is coming to Grande. Messiah is a peak of Baroque music that was written around 1750 by George Frederick Handel. And when you mix one choir, one Grand orchestra, a bunch of soloists, plus this 250-year-old oratorio, you get 30 years of Christmas classical coming back to Grande for yet another year. Now, Messiah is a religious work of art. All of the text is taken directly from the King James Bible. So for those of you who just simply melt and can't stand the mention of Jesus or God or any other religious subject, you should probably stay home. But for everyone else, religious or not, anyone with a heart open to experiencing the beauty of music in general, the organizers of the event said you can appreciate and take part in this beautiful piece too.
Handel's Messiah is a Baroque music oratorio composed by George Frederick Handel in 1741. It's one of the most well-known choral works in the world. It's difficult music, but it's really fun music. And so there's been a long tradition of amateur choirs and orchestras performing it all throughout the Western world for several hundred years.
It's a fantastic representation of Baroque music, and I just like it. It's stuff that I don't get tired of listening to. It was not tough finding talent that can perform this music. That's been easy, and people have showed up. We've got a lot of people participating.
In Grande, Don Jensen, he put it on for many, many years, 20-something years off and on in Grande with a volunteer orchestra and choir.
This new auditorium it's beautiful. When you walk in the door, it's a pleasant place to be. You can hear what's going on stage if it's not too deep in the stage. The lights are fantastic. It's a wonderful place to perform. We're very excited to perform here, and hopefully we'll fill the auditorium. Performed by this community, it's because we're going to perform it, and it's going to sound good. It is the Messiah, it is a religious work, but no matter who you are, you can like it.
People bring to it what they want to bring to it in terms of their beliefs, and they get from it whatever they choose to get from it.
I know there's people in this choir from different religions, different political backgrounds and views, but they sing together happily in this group. For me, there's been several times conducting it where I get that feeling that I get from really good music, and that's the tingle or the thrill or the excitement of it just being awesome and sounding amazing, and that gets out to the audience where you feel something together and build community, and that's why I think somebody should come and see it.
As I said, 7 p.m. this Sunday, December 18th at the Grande High School Auditorium, which is beautiful, by the way. Grande Alive will be streaming the performance live on our Facebook and on our webpage at lagrandealive.tv. And speaking of classy stuff in Grande, fashionable isn't exactly a word you would use very often to describe our little town. But leave it to the new town square to, once again, class up our streets with their first ever pop-up fashion show in the underground marketplace last week, at which Grande Alive grabbed the highlights. Now, the fashion show is part of the greater mission of the Newtown Square to give artists and artisans a place to make money with their craft. They have studio space for rent at really cheap prices, and the entirety of the market is an architectural testament to the quality of local artists and tradesmen. So if you're interested in the marketplace, just walk downstairs in the Grande and see it. It will blow you away in the best possible way, unlike the frigid winds we've been getting in the valley these days. Now, religion and art are two of my most favorite things in the whole wide world. And this week, I got to talk to someone who shares my obsessions, local writer and youth pastor Jason Link. And boy, was the conversation good. Now, rather than like many other religious writers, putting his faith overtly in his works of art, Jason prefers to purposefully not evangelize in his work. Instead, he'd rather write stories with no explicit religious agenda and simply let the story speak for itself.
You write who you are. I am not a writer of Christian fiction. I am a Christian who writes fiction, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
The person I am and the Jesus I follow shapes what I write. But are you going to hear a gospel message, like an explicit gospel message? You're not.
Jason thinks that instead of having any sort of agenda, good art makes you feel things and stimulates discussion. The point is, does it make you feel something?
And then you walk away with it and you're like, I want to talk to someone about this, right? And
Exactly.
It opens up discussion. And I think like a lot of the good literature that I've read is a doorway to, hey, dialogue. Let's talk about this. Yeah.
Overall, the conversation was a quirky, quick, goofy, and occasionally profound back and forth on the nature of art and how religion fits in. For the entirety of this discussion, visit our Facebook page or legrandalive.tv. But I wasn't the only person chatting it up this week in the studio. Brent also got into the chat act with Clay Winston, owner of Crosshairs Customs in Baker City, Oregon, a local gun manufacturing company up and coming in our little valley. Now, Clay and his company manufacture primarily AR-15s, which I personally know nothing about, but he certainly does.
There's some unique things that an AR-15 can do that a bolt gun can't even dream of when it comes into recoil mitigation. So a fun one on that, like a 458 SOCOM, is ballistically identical to a 4570, like the gun that all the old buffalo hunters used. Big old Herkin round, going heavy grain bullet, not going that fast. It's been a favorite of every big game hunter, anyone going after grizzly bear, anything like that. It's been the old standby forever.
The conversation was a shop talk turgid back and forth about guns, the gun manufacturing business, and other gun topics which are sure to be interesting to firearm nuts far and wide. The rest of this discussion can be found on our Facebook or on our website at legrandalive.tv. All right, what else is happening in the Valley this week? Well, the next 2 weekends are the last for the acclaimed Elgin Opera House show, A Christmas Story. Now, currently, shows are sold out, according to Steve Hendricks, one of the lead characters in the play. But the Elgin Opera House has recently added another showing next Thursday, December 22nd at 7:30 p.m. On Saturday, there's what's called a country Christmas celebration at the Art Center in La Grande. Not sure what a country Christmas celebration is, other than a bunch of hillbillies with big hats to catch the snow, square dancing to all your favorite Christmas songs, but I guess you'll just have to go to find out. In another odd musical gathering news, there's a coalition of Union County ukuleles Strum Circle, 7 p.m. at 1802 Adams Avenue in La Grande. This Strum Circle has now officially tied last week's Celtic Piper Circle for the weirdest musical gathering award of the year. In sports, high school basketball has continued into non-league play before the holidays, or tried to at least. For the boys, 2 games were canceled because of the weather. Too darn cold, the coaches said. Elgin, on the other hand, had a game closer to home that wasn't blocked by snow, winning 43-60 against LaGrange's junior varsity team at the Enterprise Winter Classic Tournament. The next day, Elgin went on to beat Pine Eagle 55-33. The Union boys went 1-2 last weekend, first winning against Echo 59-33, then losing against Umatilla 45-57, and Pilot Rock 36-51. Imbler, got 1-1, losing versus Baker 52-55, but winning against Powder Valley 49-39. For the girls, Elgin lost to Enterprise Saturday 29-62, and then against Grande JV 48-39. The Union girls, on the other hand, doubled up on the wins, beating Mackay 49-27 and Arlington 42-29. And lastly, Imbler lost two, the first versus Baker 41-51 and the second against Powder Valley 56-60. And now for your EOU Sports with our favorite sports guys, Evan and Chris, who this week have been downright taken by the festive spirit of the holidays.
I'm Evan House.
And I'm Chris Duarte of EOU Athletics.
This is a special holiday version of Around the Mountain in about 90 seconds. Coming off an upset win over number 8 College of Idaho last week, the women's basketball team took to Walla Walla to take on the Wolves. The Blue and Gold started off slow, shooting only 34% from field goal range in the first half. However, the Mountaineers got things going in the second half, scoring 61 points in the last 20 minutes while shooting 66%. The win not only is the fourth in a row for EOU, it also carves Brian McGriff his fourth double-double of the season, as the senior scored 23 points. The Mounties host CCC foes Corbin this Friday evening at 7:30 and Northwest Christian on Saturday at 7:30.
The EOU women's basketball team defeated Walla Walla Saturday 109-45. Junior guard Peyton Parrish scored a season-high 25 points, while freshman Kate Hogan tallied a career-best 24 points, making 11 of her 13 shots. The Mountaineers improved to 8-2 on the season and 2-0 in conference play. The Blue and Gold will face Corbin this Friday at home and Northwest Christian Saturday. Both games are scheduled for a 5:30 tip-off.
The women's wrestling team took on historic powerhouse North Idaho College on Friday. Facing the pesky foe on the road was tough. However, the Mountaineers showed some strength, securing 4 wins. However, EOU would eventually fall to the Cardinals 30-12. The Mountaineers notched wins from Mara Kabbalah at 125, Brendan Vladek at 141, Ryan Middleton at 157, and Brandon Davidson at 165. The men compete again this week and traveling to Reno, Nevada for the Tournament of Champions.
The EOU women's wrestling team is on the road this weekend as well, as they head to California to compete in the West Coast Tournament of Champions. That's the latest news in EOU Athletics. We hope you all have a great holiday season and that you'll join us again back in January as we take you around the mountain in about 90 seconds.
For more information, visit at www.eusports.com. Happy holidays.
And that's your weekly Newsish Roundup. This roundup was brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Grande Hospital, and Direct Music Source. Be sure to like and share this video and tune in to LaGrandeLive.tv for more local content. I'm Will Bowman.